What's up, y'all? Uh, let's talk about this new Zeus show with Erica Mena. It's supposed to be a dating show. I don't really watch any of the Zeus shows outside of Baddies. I did watch Bobby Light's show, but I don't watch Jocelyn's Cabaret. But I was like, I'm gonna, watch the trailer for Erica's show. And I saw a couple familiar faces, so I decided to tune into episode 1. And I'm gonna keep watching this because it was hilarious to me. It was so funny. And I feel like if you're watching Zeus for anything other than like entertainment, you're doing it wrong. It's just entertainment. Like, a lot of people watch Zeus and are like, they just take it so serious, and they end up mad about the fact that there's so many fights in the show. That is if you're it's like junk food. Like, you're not supposed to eat it, but you eat it because it tastes good. That's the kind of shows that are on Zeus. So, episode 1 dropped on Sunday, and I started watching it, and it went to the opening scene, and it kind of had Erica's like intro, her telling a little bit about herself. And Erica looks really, really good. I think she's like 37, 38, somewhere around there. She's got to be like Natalie's age, and she looks amazing to me. She talks about how she got married, she had 2 kids, she went through a divorce. She's kind of showing a lot of pictures of herself. She talks about how the divorce was bad, but she is happy that she got the 2 kids. And she says with this show, it's supposed to be serious dating show. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna be like, a real live dating show, something that's serious, where she walks away and ends up with someone that she really likes. But she says she's gonna have men and women on this show. Skeptical off rip, because I don't really know Erica Mena's history like that, but I instantly get skeptical when somebody tells me that they're equally into men and women, because I don't know, it just don't be passing the smell check too often. So when you look at the show, like, the budget was mostly there for the show. Like, compared to Bobby Light's dating show, there was no budget for that show. But Zeus really has come a long way since Bobby Light's show. So the house was big. I think I saw a bowling alley in the house, hella rooms, all of this stuff. I mean, the house was bigger and better than the houses that Baddies has. And I know for sure that Baddies probably is Zeus's most watched show, brings in the most money for Zeus. So Erica Mena really got a good deal on this show. So we get into scene number 2. So in this scene, she's calling her friend Bambi for help. Erica is sitting down inside of that house. She's calling her friend, she FaceTimes her, and she's talking to her about how she needs her to come and be her emotional support and help her. And I just rewatched it before I got ready to do this review, and I noticed a couple of things I did not notice the first time. First, Erica's supposedly into both men and women. And anybody who knows how those kind of situations can be when you're trying to be friends with someone who could potentially be attracted to you, it don't always go right. And her friend said something along the lines of, she's too emotionally invested to do it. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Too emotionally. So now we're going to have, and Erica's kind of like, no, we're both emotionally invested. See, this is where it gets like messy, because people be wanting to bring their friends around like, oh, this is my friend. And this person got a crush on you, and now you're going to have a girl come on a show that's supposed to be helping you pick someone, but the whole time she's going to be hating on people that you actually like and all of this stuff. That's what it was, that scene gave me. And then another thing that happened in that conversation is Erica is like, um, everybody's coming here and everybody that's going to be here for me. And her friend kind of goes, oh, everybody that's here for you. Like, as in, oh, as in I haven't been here for you. Like, I don't know if y'all picked up on that or not, but I picked it up. So I'm not looking forward to Bambi coming, but at the same time, for the sake of the show and the mess, I am looking forward to Bambi coming, but I feel like I'm not about to like her, to be honest, but we'll see. So we get to the next scene, and this to me was the best scene of episode 1, and it is the scene of the cast leaving the hotel to get onto the little Zeus buses and get ready to go to the house. So boom, all of the cast members come out. Mind you, at this time, I don't know who's going to be on this show. I seen the trailer, but I didn't pay attention that much to the trailer. I'm not even gonna lie. I noticed Aaron the plumber. Y'all ever seen the pop the balloons thing? Where they find love or pop a balloon? And he kind of went viral because he was talking real bad about some of the girls that were on the fucking show. Like, I think one girl asked him, the funniest moment, one girl asked him, she said, she had popped her balloon because he was, kind of like reading the other girls that were there. She pops her balloon after she hears him do that. And he comes over there and she goes to explain why he popped her balloon. He kind of looks down and then looks back up. Like, looks down at her body and then looks back up, and she stops, she's trying to be funny when she says this. And she's like, my eyes are up here. What are you looking at? Like, pointing to like her chest, like he was looking at her like boobs or something. And he said, no, I was looking at the hair on your arms.
Age and why you ended up popping your balloon?
Brianna, 26. My eyes are up here, baby. Are you looking at the tattoo?
No, I'm looking at the hair on your arms. Women I deal with, they don't have hair on their arms.
Don't do too much.
Even the other girls that were there just like kind of busted out laughing because it was hilarious, and she was embarrassed because that was supposed to be her moment to get him, but he got her. So I see him on the show and I'm just thinking to myself, Zeus is something else. So Aaron the plumber, he comes on, he's got on a whole suit. I don't know, I feel like the suit was too much, to be honest, but he got on a whole suit, dressed, more professional than everybody else there. And I ended up looking him up on Instagram because you see his little Instagram handle, and it's like his Instagram handle is his line. Like, he is milking that show. Like, he's milking the balloon show. His Instagram handle is from his line on the show, you not qualified. It was you.not.qualified. He's active on there if you guys want to follow him and see what he's been up to. So they're all on the bus, and mind you, they got the kind of like the girls on one side and the guys on like another side. And the girls are kind of like lit, turning up, taking shots, cheersing, all of that. The guys are kind of just standing there, a little standoffish. They're sitting there, and there's just a couple people who stood out on this bus. Like, I'm gonna try to go through it all. Like, I wrote it down. So a couple people who stood out on this bus. Savion, who was a porn star. Probably the best looking guy on the show. And then I find out that he actually passed away, which is really sad. So he had to have passed away like last year, right before this filming got out, but he was like killed, it looks like. So he stood out. Selena Powell, I did not know who she was. She's a white girl that's on this show. And I didn't know who she was, but when her name was brought up, a couple of the cast members kind of stopped to like acknowledge her in some type of way. And I pulled up her Instagram, and she actually has 3 million followers on Instagram. And it looks like she just bought a new, like, one of those truck Teslas. It looked like she bought it. So she had like for real motion before the show. And as I'm looking up the people who are on this show, for the most part, these are like influencers on Instagram. And I just feel like Zeus paid these people to come on this show. And I'm starting to lose faith in the fact that this show is going to be really about love. I think that Erica Mena wants it to be about that, but even to some degree, I think Erica Mena knows that she's kind of doing this too. Maybe she's gotten a check from Zeus, and it's a show about her where she gets to be the star. If she finds love, okay, but chances are this is a show. Let's just get the show going. Another person that stood out, and I don't care what nobody says, I'm gonna get into this later, but Aaron the plumber carried this whole entire bus scene. He carried the whole bus scene, and I'm gonna get into it because I know people like have like a hate love kind of thing. Because on the Pop the Balloon, he was like really funny, but at the same time like irritating. And now seeing him on the show, he's kind of like doing how Summer did on the show, where it just won't shut the fuck up. Like, and then who else stood out? Ooh, okay, all right. So those were the main ones who stood out. There were a couple other ones. Jason, the gay boy, he stood out. I forget the trans girl's name. I guess she stood out too. And then the two white guys stood out because they were two white guys that were twins. All right, so this is what happens. They're on the bus, like I said. Girls are lit, cheers in. They start kind of like introducing themselves, trying to get everybody to open up a little bit more. So once Selena Powell introduces herself, one of the guys, a black dude, I forget his name, but he's like, oh, he says in his confessional, oh, Selena Powell on here? I didn't recognize anybody else except Selena Powell. I know she taking D. That's what made me look her up and realize that she had clout. Then Aaron says, Aaron the plumber, he says Selena Powell's on here, and he goes and he looks at her, and he says that she got some muscular ass cheekbones. Mind you, he doesn't say this in his confessional. He says this to her. She starts trying to cuss him out. He then goes on to call him a knockoff Kim Kardashian. Like, just insanity. So, you know, he's starting to like start the shit on the fucking bus. So then one of the girls asks Jason, who's the bi but really gay boy, and they ask him, they say, who's gonna go home first? And he responds, he's like, I think Aaron is gonna go home first. So mind you now, Aaron is kind of stealing the show at this point. He's taking the show away. So they asked Jason about himself, and Jason's story is just so ridiculous to me. And I'm really not trying to be judgmental, but I can't help it when somebody tells me a story like this. Jason is 27. He says, first off, he started off, if you listen to what he said to them, he said that he was straight when he was asked about his sexuality. And then he says that he's 27 years old and he's a virgin. It doesn't pass the smell check. It does not pass the smell check. I don't believe that that's true at all. And everybody kind of just, you know, nods like, okay, sure, buddy, whatever got you on this show. And then his confessional look, his braids is just messed up. Like, it looks like this is the third month of the cornrows been in. And I hope that they were cornrows, because if they weren't, then there's another problem. So then, of course, one of the girls on the bus, she she's listening to Jason explain it so. And Jason says that he's, you know, basically, if I end up with the girl, I end up with the girl. If I end up with the guy, I end up with the guy. It's all cap. It's all cap. And this girl on the bus, she says, but you're a bottom though. I know on the inside his blood got to boiling. Because this is the problem with the cap that he has on him. Like he can't like be himself. So he starts like trying to say it back to her, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. She's getting him at this point. So then he decides to come back with something that I didn't even realize watching it, but clearly off camera, what I saw on camera wasn't what it was given to him looking at her face to face. Because he calls her, he was like, and aren't you a man? You're a boy, right? And everybody kind of turns their head like, and then she's like, yeah, I'm a doll. Nah. So she's trans. And it just reminds me of like this whole little, this is why fucking gay people can't be on shows like this, because this is how they act. And he's like trying to read her, she's trying to read him, and they just keep going back and forth. So he gets in his confessional. He says that he knew that she was trans because of her big feet and her big ass head. And they're just going back and forth. So then the porn star dude, his name is Savion. And Jason turns to Savion and he's like, oh, I know that you be fucking bitches. I know that you be doing all of this. That, you know, kind of like hyping him up, but basically saying like that he's watched his porn. So then Savion is kind of like embarrassed about it a little bit, but he, you know, just kind of laughs it off. Then the trans girl, she's like, so you watch his porn? Just trying to embarrass him. And he's, you know, he's getting irritated with her. And Aaron just the whole time is just talking shit. Just the whole entire time. He's just talking shit. But mind you, he's really only talking shit to the females that are there. And a part of me, because I looked online and some people were like, oh, he was just talking shit to the girls because he's scared of the guys. And the reason why they felt that way is because he said something about one of the girls being a sex worker and how she ain't shit because she's a sex worker. And then Javion, who also is a sex worker in reality, I mean, he does porn. He says, well, what's wrong with sex work? I do sex work. And then Aaron kind of turns to him and is like, well, you know, it's cool. You just getting your money, bro. I ain't got no hate towards somebody that's just getting their money. And God said that, you know, men can have multiple wives, all of this stuff. So people feel like, you know, Aaron is copping pleas with dudes, but then coming at the girls. I think to a certain extent that might be true, but what also might be true too is the fact that his whole thing and how he keeps saying, I went viral, like he's popping it on the bus. I went viral. I didn't go viral. I went global. Mind you, it's just to pop the balloon show in reality. I mean, a lot of people watch the shit, but it's a YouTube like show, you know, and I think that a part of it is that he got big off of going after women, so he's trying to keep that going. I think that has a lot to do with it too. Because when he says out of his mouth, God ordained men to have multiple wives, these two white boys in the back, and mind you, I'm going to have to figure out everybody's name as this goes, but one of the black dudes in the confessional, he says, he calls them Zach and Cody, from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And the two white dudes are like, no, God did not. He's like, technically, one of them is like, technically, God did not ordain. If you read in chapter and verse, and Aaron's like, I'm not trying to hear none of that. So now Aaron's deciding to go after the white boys. Mind you, they start going back and forth. Aaron stands up, he gets to taking off his shirt. And I just know that white dude, when Aaron was taking off his shirt and you see these big tank muscles coming out, that white dude's heart sunk into his stomach. And he's just in there like, chill out, bro. So then Aaron lunges at the white dude. Now, if you look at what happened, because this is interesting. Right before they got ready to fight, one of Aaron's friends was like, and if your brother jumps into the white dude, because mind you, they're twins. If your brother jumps in, I'm jumping in. This dude that says that he's Aaron's friend, that he's cool with him at least. When Aaron lunges at the white dude, he gets maybe like one hit in. The white dude's brother reaches over, but security's on at this point. Security's on. The white dude that's getting hit, he's sitting down. Aaron's on top. Security's blocking, and then his brother jumps in. Then you see the dude that said that he was Aaron's friend, he went to go jump in too. If you take a look, he went and started jumping in and trying to swing punches. But then when he starts swinging punches, Savion, I think that's his name, the porn star dude, he goes and grabs Aaron's friend to pull him off. So I get the impression that Savion is already not a fan of Aaron. He doesn't like the fact that Aaron is popping it on his bus. He's really not liking his energy like that. He's probably annoyed by him a little bit. Because he already had said something to him. He wasn't liking his energy. And I'm just thinking, please get these two white boys off the show. Like, they just look like, have they seen Zeus before? Because when they got off the bus, they were like, I just really don't want to be fighting, man. That is literally all Zeus does. Because even with this show, and even with the Bobby Light show, fights. That's what it's known for. That's what people come on there to do. I'm sure the producers push them to do that. Regardless, it's junk TV. Okay. So next we get into a scene where, that's her name, the trans girl. Her name is Bria. Bria and Aaron. And I don't know if it clicked to Aaron that she's trans because she said, I'm a doll. So I don't know if it clicked to Aaron what that meant. But Bria comes over to Aaron and it's kind of like trying to check his temperature a little bit. Like, oh, you're this and that. Why are you doing this and that? Because mind you, Aaron is still just popping it. And Aaron is kind of like being like playful with her, but kind of like demeaning at the same time. And it comes off kind of flirtatious. She like feeds some mints into his mouth. So Aaron is still just, he literally won't stop. He just is popping it the whole time. And that's why I said this whole entire bus scene was literally about Aaron. I forget what her name is, but she's a dyke, and I'm just not a fan of them, these kind of ones, because like she gets up and she's like, shut the fuck up, nigga. She's talking to Aaron. She's like, shut the fuck up, bro. And throws water at Aaron. Like, it is my opinion that everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves. Male, female, keep your hands to yourself. If you don't want people hitting on you, don't hit on people. So Aaron's mad because he can't even do anything to her because she's a girl, which is just insane. So yeah, Aaron just kind of ran that whole bus scene. Okay, so we get to the next scene, and we're pulling up to the house. Like I said, this house is huge. Bigger than any of the baddies' houses that I've seen. And Erica comes out. She looks really, really good. And I'm just thinking to myself, are any of these people actually qualified to date Erica Mena? Because she obviously has motion. And that's what made the show much more of a clown show. Other than the white girl, she seems like she's probably, her name was Selena or something like that I said had 3.3 million followers. Like, she's on her level. But other than her, maybe the porn star dude, but he's not around anymore. But for the sake of the show. And Aaron the plumber, even still, like with the little bit of clout that he got, I don't think that he's anywhere near Erica Mena's level. So it just makes this show even more, it's not really a dating show, it's a show for entertainment. That's what I'm getting. So once again, I'm telling you, Aaron's the star of this show. He's the star of this show. He's definitely the entertainment for the show. He's going to be bringing the entertainment. Erica comes out. She's got everybody lined up. She's meeting everybody. She's standing up on top. Everybody's standing at the bottom, listening to her. And he comes out and he pulls out a box. He bought her a heart-shaped box of roses. But the twist to the gift is that the roses have been preserved in a way where they don't need to be watered for a year. And everybody's like, oh, this is corny, but Erica liked it. And I thought that it was a good little idea for Aaron. So Erica ends up telling them the rules. She says how she wants all the attention, how she wants them to be having no sex between each other. She must have seen what happened on Bobby I Love You Purr, because they were all having sex with each other. But good luck to her. I feel like as soon as this show ends, we're gonna hear about all of the shit that happened between the different cast members and stuff, just like last time. So then she tells them to go ahead, make sure that they're clean and all of that. Go ahead, find their rooms to disperse. So then Jason, he decides to pull Erica to the side to have a conversation with her one-on-one. And the conversation was just terrible. Jason's going home. As soon as there's time for him to go home, he's going home. He's talking about how he likes vagina and trying to convince her that he likes it because she does not believe him, because he's not believable. He's lying. And she's like, so I'm just really concerned. And I just was like, he should be concerned. So we get to the next scene. And let me see what this scene was about. Hold on. The next scene. Oh, they're all finding a room. So this is just Zeus being Zeus. I'm really not going to spend too much time on these. The only ones that I really want to talk about, because it was multiple people fighting over a room. This girl, she starts trying to fight Selena over the room and is trying to like pull her. Selena is really, no. Actually, you know what? This scene pissed me off. Because they're going to go find a room. And 4 girls go inside of a room. Selena goes inside of the room too. Now, the other girl that was saying that this is my room, she starts to get physical with Selena. Mind you, they both were kind of being physical with each other in a playful way, but maybe a little undertone of seriousness. They were like rushing to the room and kind of like rubbing up against each other. And I guess the one girl's nail got broken. I don't remember her name, but she had like blonde locks. One of her nails got broken. So then she kind of hits Selena like a little and pushes her. And Selena's like, no, I'm gonna stay in this room. And she's like, no, you're leaving this room. Everybody else can stay except for you. Pulls her up out of the chair that she's sitting in. And then she grabs her, and I saw it. It was a Louis Vuitton bag. She grabs her Louis Vuitton bag and is pulling her Louis Vuitton bag to where it looks like it's gonna break. Pushes her into a bathroom and shuts the door. And Selena's like, I had to match her energy. And I'm like, no, you're not matching the energy, because the only way that you could have been matching the energy in that situation is if y'all were fighting. Because what do you mean? And I know like that Zeus had to pay Selena a bag to come on this show, because she already has money. She already has clout. So Zeus had to pay her a good penny. But now, clearly, Zeus has paid you a good penny to get beat up on TV and bullied on TV, because that's what I think is about to happen. Hopefully, Selena kind of turns it around a little bit, but no. The only matching of energy would have been, you were matching her energy with this a little bit, but she's pushing you and all of that, pulling your bags and all of that. It was like old Bad Girls Club bullying type of thing. Sad to watch. Then we get another scene where this tall dude and the other guy's name is Lamar, you know, the dude with the whiskers and kind of like corny outfit with the cane and the top hat. I looked him up. He got like 400,000 followers though. They're like arguing over a bed too. And I just know that Lamar is like heart is beating on the inside because this dude is like 6'5" and he's not leaving the bed. Then it skips to another scene between the twins, the white twins, Zach and Cody. And they talk about how they're both brothers and they're on the show competing with each other. But ideally, what they would want is a throuple situation with Erica Mena. And I'm just like, hold up. Aren't y'all brothers? A throuple, a sexual and intimate relationship between three people with three people? I mean, that's weird. That's just weird. It's super weird. So Zeus just keeps showing all these bed fighting scenes. The last one is a little bed fighting scene between these two other girls, and they actually started like fighting, and Zeus security did not break up the fight. Like that fight was going like 10 minutes. Like, I was like, where's security at? Because you know, on Baddies, like they got like a good 30 seconds tops to fight before it's getting broke up. Maybe it's because that they didn't look like they was damaging each other at all, for real. And I feel like the one girl with the tattoos thought that she was about to beat that, I don't know if she's like white, Latina. I feel like she thought she was about to whoop her, but she ain't whoop her on that bed. I was watching. She really ain't whoop her for real. So the white girl at that point was like, well, she probably was thinking in her head, I thought she was going to whoop me too, but she really ain't whooped me for real, so I'm not leaving this bed. Because when they get ready to show what's going to happen in the next episode, it looked like this white girl, the Latina girl, whooped her in the second round. Like she's about to leave that room. So, the last scene that we get to is the kitchen scene. And it's a lot of the guys, I don't know if it was all the guys, I think it was most of them though. And Javion, the porn star, he brings up that Aaron was flirting with the trans girl. And Aaron says that he did not know that she was trans, but now that he knows that she's trans, he gotta go see what's going on with her. So her name is Bria, the trans girl. So that's where we leave off at. And then it shows what's gonna happen next episode. And Bria says to Aaron, when they sit down and talk, Bria says to Aaron, oh, but you weren't having that energy when you were trying to kiss me on the bus. Aaron says, watch who you talking to, sir. And then Bria says something back. Aaron stands up. Bria stands up. Aaron starts swinging. Bria starts swinging. And Bria's voice dropped like 8 octaves during that fight. Like I said, another thing that was shown in the next episode is the white girl or the Latina girl, whatever she is, real pretty, that was fighting the chick with the tattoos all over, starts beating her up on the bed. Anyways, this first episode, I was entertained. The whole time. I was definitely locked in. I want to see what's going to happen on episode 2. I hope that with this show, if they're going to do the kind of thing like of challenges and try to make it like a, you know, when it's like a love show, but a game show at the same time, like have real life challenges, because the challenges on the Bobby Light show sucked. So have real life challenges that are actually interesting, that are fun to watch. Another thing I would like for the show is we need to see intimate moments. So a problem with the Bobby show is that we really did not see that many moments between Bobby and the people that he was dating on the show. Like there needs to be actual dates and conversation and dialogue that makes sense, that seems genuine and authentic, so that it makes sense what happens on the show. Otherwise, so far, I would say episode 1, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna try to drop reviews, hopefully every Sunday. I work on Sundays. If not Sunday, the latest by Tuesday, because Sunday is when it comes out. So we will see